Hello guys.
You're welcome back again to our channel.
Mm,
If this is your first time here, you're welcome. And
you're
if you're a
welcome.
returning subscriber, you're welcome to Ayonitemitv. I'm the Temi, that's the entire in Ayonitemitv. Why is it higher? Well, I do. This is my name is the entire Ayonitemitv, so I'm still the one carrying the old name, so I borrowed you.
Mm.
What is the daily in
Anyways,
Ayonitemitv?
there is no Temitayo without Ayu.
uh, my name
Mm?
is Seva Asayo.
That's what I'm saying. Your name is not complete without Ayu.
For your
Mm.
mind.
All right, let's go to the into the
You
video.
are too serious.
Let's. There's no time. There's no time. Yeah.
So, guys, we are starting an interesting series on
Mm.
this channel, and it's going to take like maybe like two, three, four. No, let's
Videos.
say 3 to 4 because it cannot be two.
It can't be true.
Let's say 3 to 4 videos now. So, and it is a very interesting topic.
Yes.
Like we are going
Yes.
to be, it's about courtship. So we are going to be telling you
Mm.
the questions to ask during courtship. So
Yes.
it's around 50
Yes.
plus,
We
like
have 50
it's so
plus
much.
questions.
So what you
Important
need to do
questions.
is just to take your pen
Mm.
and write them down, and for you to ask your partner, for you to ask your future partner. Although this question, like you said, is for courtship period, so we believe that it's for those people that they are about to
Planning to
get
get married,
married.
yeah.
So courtship period is not the time to, it's not the time to, what's it called, courtship period is the time to know
To prepare.
more about yourself. Like it's more of discussion time. It is not,
Mm.
it's not for paparazzi. It's, of course you do paparazzi and all those things, but you need to ask questions. So though that courtship period is a very crucial period in your relationship, for you to know more about your spouse, for your spouse to know more about yourself. So we're taking our time to compile around 50 plus questions that you can
Yes.
ask for your spouse. I see people that they will say they don't know the questions to ask, and that's
Yes.
true. Sometimes that you
This
may not
video is
know
for you.
the
Yeah.
questions to ask. So this video is for you. So take your pen and write them down.
Mm.
It's not a question that you just ask your, maybe sister, your spouse just one day. You have to, like you have to keep discussing it, like
Mm.
for you to just be clear about. It's not just a day discussion. That's
Yeah.
what we meant by that. So
Mm.
guys, we promise that it's going to be very interesting, like very, very
Yes.
interesting,
So,
interesting questions, funny questions to ask. And at the end of this video also, we're also going to be talking about sexual conversation before marriage.
mm.
Watch out also. It shock you? No, you have to discuss it. Sexual conversation before
Mm.
marriage. I didn't see this also as an important aspect before, until I see it as important topic to discuss now. So let's get right into the video. So babe, can you start?
All right. So let's start with our first question.
So guys, this question is not like it is orderly. So it's not like as if, okay, the ones that we are saying first are the
Yeah.
important ones, the last one are the less
Mm.
important one. So just wrote them randomly as it's coming. So
Yes.
that's it.
All right. The first question is background. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to know your spouse background.
Yes.
You need to know which kind of background does he or she comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Probably it's a family, or maybe she's even the only daughter, or is even the
Mm-hmm.
only son. Or, you
Yes.
need to just have an overview
Yes.
of.
Of the background.
Yes, and it's very, very important because there are some times when you marry, you, for example, now I have a lot of siblings um, after me, and then she also probably she has a lot of siblings too. So you should know that automatically you guys will be taking a lot of responsibilities
Responsibilities.
apart from your own probably family responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So you knowing that will help you to at least have an idea of what you
You
are
are
going
going
into.
into.
Not that by the time, or what's it called now, by the time you get into marriage and the siblings are calling, everybody are calling, or stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, and then you will start be wondering that is this how they will be calling or not?
Mm-hmm.
So you should know the overview background of your spouse. You need
Yes.
to know the yes, that's it. So we don't want to dwell so much on that.
No, we
So that
dwell on it.
okay,
We're gonna dwell on it.
okay.
So, guys, what I want to add is that if you are marrying a firstborn,
Mm,
but probably both of you are firstborn, as
yes,
like my husband has said, you know that the only lot of responsibilities. If
yes.
you are marrying only child,
That's another thing.
that's another thing.
Yes.
You are marrying only child. Usually is a male. Your
Yeah.
husband is the only child. That
Mm,
means that
probably it's going to be the mommy's boy, right?
exactly. So you know what you are getting
Mm,
into. You cannot
mm.
separate your husband from the mother. You
Yes,
cannot you
yes.
cannot oh they got
So
small
you need
hand.
you need to know. Sorry for cutting you. You need to know if both parents are alive.
Yes.
Okay. What about the siblings? Have they
Mm-hmm.
gotten how many of them are in school?
Yes. That's many
Many
questions.
questions. You
And
just from the background
if it's
alone.
possible that it's your husband that has been sponsoring them
Them before
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 marriage.
marriage, you need to know.
Of course, you can't after marriage, your husband cannot stop the sponsor.
Yes, be
So
not
you need
stop.
to know
Yeah,
what you are getting into. So you
into
have to ask the question very well. So I also want to add about that background. Also, you have to know the culture
yes,
of your
their
spouse.
culture. Yeah.
Very, very important. Even though, if both of you are Yoruba, there are still cultures like
Yes.
different towns with their different cultural
Mm,
belief.
mm.
For instance, probably in some culture, maybe after the wife gives
Give
birth,
birth.
you have to go to your mother-in-law's house to take care of the baby.
Mm,
And in your own place, it's not like that. So you have to ask your husband if after giving birth, oh, like who is going to come, and or are we going to go to your parents' place? Because
mm,
there's some culture that it is mandatory for the wife to go to the husband's family to take
mm,
care of the child. Will you be able to accept that?
mm.
Another thing is there's also some culture
Yeah, yes.
that
Can you remember this story, real life story that this man shared concerning building of house?
okay, yeah, I'm still coming to that. I'm still coming to that. I'm sorry. So the another thing is that there's some culture also
Mm,
that you have to sleep in your husband family house on your wedding night.
mm.
You have to ask your husband. If your husband does not know, your husband has to ask your husband has to ask
His parents.
his parents for
Yeah.
you to know what's up, what's
If there
going
is
on in their
anything,
culture.
yeah.
So if you are going to accept, maybe you have one spiritual belief about no, I cannot sleep, I cannot. We have to
So that
sleep
you
in
won't have
hotel.
issues from the beginning of
You
the
won't
marriage.
have issues from the beginning. For
Yeah.
instance, for us, my mother-in-law said we should come to their place on our wedding night, but because of distance, do you understand?
Yeah.
Because of distance, she was able to understand that, and my husband too, like everybody just understand. But if it's mandatory,
Yes.
like it is like all these people that say they use water to wash their whole leg on the
Yes.
night of wedding. Hmm. And if it's the culture that you have to also bring virginity clothes, you have to ask all those things. No, don't be surprised when you start seeing things popping up.
Mm.
You get like you have to see things on
Yeah.
some culture that you have to go and do your naming ceremony of your firstborn in your
Yes.
husband's family.
Mm.
Do you understand? So a lot of cultural belief.
And cultural differences.
Yes. So what my husband also was trying also reminded me of is about this culture something like is a story, not like real life story. Now it
Yes.
happened. The family wanted to build a house,
Mm.
so the way they splitted their finances. So the husband was using his own money to take care of the house, while the wife was using her own salary for major projects
Yes.
in the house. So now the wife sorry, the family built house
Mm.
like from the what's it called, from the money from the wife's savings. Now no, the
Yes.
wife's saving is for major projects.
Yeah.
Now after completing the building, they moved to their apartment, and I think after a week, so the parents of the husband came
Mm.
for visiting. Guys, listen, oh, they came for visiting, and they insisted that they want to sleep in their matrimonial beds.
Mm.
The both parents, they insisted that they have to sleep in their matrimonial bed. So they have to excuse them, and they slept in their matrimonial bed for weeks. Now they refuse to leave. Later the husband now called the wife that in our family, and when the firstborn built house, it is for the parents. Then when the
It
wife,
shock you. Shocking shock.
so it's like when they build house, when the firstborn build house, automatically it is for the parents,
Hmm.
and it was not discussed before marriage.
Yeah.
So I did be it was discussed before
Probably they would
marriage.
have built something portable for the parents and then
Of course, they won't even the wife will not have it inside the mind that okay, not the way they will build the house and say okay, this is our house and all. But of course,
yeah.
you build something beautiful for your parents. You understand? But
Yes.
what I'm just trying to say is that it would have been better if your husband
Yeah, as informed,
inform the
yeah.
wife and the husband knew before marriage and didn't tell the wife after building now said na house so first born. So a lot of cultural drama that
Yes.
it start unveiling before marriage. So it doesn't have to unveil
Yes.
before
At
marriage.
least you know what you should expect. Though
Yes.
sometimes many of those things you can manipulate them, you can still escape some of those
Mhm.
things, right? But at least you should have an idea of what might happen in the future. So let's just go to the
Next point.
next question. All right, the next thing here is formal education. So you need to know, at least to some extent, or let's say to some extent, you need to know
Mm-hmm.
the level of your spouse education. Okay, if it's
Yes.
just SSC or what's it called now, or tertiary education,
Education.
or just you need to know if
Mm-hmm.
it's just diploma, HND, BSc, and then you need to
Yes.
know the expectation of your spouse too in terms of
Mm-hmm.
this education. Probably
Mm-hmm.
your wife is expecting that okay, by the time I get married, I'm going to go for my PhD or
Mm-hmm.
my MSc or any other or second degree.
Mm-hmm.
So such that when you get into marriage and then you tell your spouse now tells you that I want to go for my PhD o, you won't feel like kò sówó ńlẹ̀ or there's no money on ground or stuff like that. You won't
Yeah.
be surprised. You know that
Mm-hmm.
okay, you guys have discussed it earlier that she is going to go for a PhD. So you need to know your number one, the formal education, the
Mm-hmm.
education level of your spouse, and you need to also discuss it and discuss your expectations. Like, okay, the future expectation, is it going for, uh, is it going to further the education?
Education.
Though
Yeah.
many times, just like I mentioned earlier, you might get into marriage and then things might not go smoothly, and then but at least you have the knowledge that okay,
Mm-hmm.
this and this are what we are expecting.
Yes, another I want to add to what is said also about the education aspect. You know, some people are very ambitious. Some
Mm,
women are very ambitious, but and some men, maybe a woman is ambitious, and then the husband is just I'm okay with BSc, and the woman is what's it called? Is ready to
is
go
any
to PhD level to is it
mm,
professorship or what, or what like to be a professor, and probably the husband is insecure
mm,
about it. So I feel like like this woman can be higher than me or something like that. So you have to discuss things like what do you feel about a woman getting to the top of her career? Do you
mm,
understand? Like so that you will know before marriage. And if you are the kind of person that you don't want your wife to like so you know that okay, this lady she's very ambitious. So that means I have to be ready. All those insecurity, you have to put aside and help her to achieve her goal, but you have to know all those things, discuss it. Probably what's it called now, probably you are also a career man and
mm,
your wife is saying that okay, I'm okay with BSc and you want her to move further. Do
yes,
you understand? Some people are just saying, okay, I'm comfortable where I am. I don't want to read again. Why
yes,
you want to read and read and you also want to like to read and read and read.
yeah,
So you have to discuss all those things so that you will know how to put a
mm,
balance
Yeah.
to it. And if you want to convince, now to
Uh,
start
yes. You
convincing and
know.
all
Mm-hmm.
that. Another thing about that education is that personally I've seen marriage that got broken because of education. Now
Mm,
you have to know the level of education of your spouse,
mm,
and also if you are doubting it, you can do your background check. There's no offense there. Some people
mm,
will tell you that they are graduates and they are SSO, that there's nothing bad
mm,
in that. But you need to know that all these questions is just about what your spouse
mm.
tells you, the
Yes.
answer that she gives you, that you are
Yes.
going to believe. But if you see
Mm,
some non clarity or this, you can do your background check. I see someone that says what's it called, she's a graduate and all that she even had a NYC kit as a frame, as a picture, and it was all a lie.
mm,
Everything was just framed, and the husband later what's it called, the husband later found out, and that was the end of the marriage. That was the end,
mm.
just because of that
Yeah.
things, or just that little thing, like
Yes.
not like it's little thing, but of course you won't expect that thing should break a marriage. So you have to discuss about it. You have to discuss about if you have any
And be clear
insecurity,
about it. Yes.
and be cleared about it.
Mm. Our next question is, or next topic we need to discuss
Discuss.
in courtship is expected rules of both of you in the marriage. You
Marriage.
need to know who is doing what, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to you need to discuss it. Okay, inside the marriage, oh, this is what I will be doing, right? Okay, this is what, okay, you will be in charge of this, I will be in charge of this. You will be, okay, who will be disciplining the children,
Children.
who will be taking the children to school and all that, who
Mm-hmm.
is going to be doing the house chores. Some of these things, they might you might feel
It
like,
might look
okay,
simple.
you might look simple, but
Mm-hmm.
there are some of the things that causes a lot of fight inside marriage,
Yeah.
right? But when you discuss them, though it might not be as clear as that,
Yes.
but at least
You have an
you
idea.
have an idea of your partner, of
Mm-hmm.
his or her reasoning
Yes.
concerning that matter.
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
understand me
And
now?
if you
So
know their perspective
yes,
about it, if you are getting
that's just
married
it.
to a man that believes that a woman should take care of everything that pertains to kitchen, a woman should
Yes,
take care of the children,
yes,
what's it called, everything, go and meet your mommy, then you know what you are going into.
yes,
Compared to a lady that, okay, she believes that her husband should help her in the kitchen,
yes.
and what's it called, you are sweating all alone in the kitchen, and that
Mm,
kitchen is not is not an easy place at all.
mm,
It's not an easy place. The workload in the house alone is stressful.
yes.
So if your spouse to be is having that perspective that the woman should be the one, like
Mm,
that is the responsibility to take care of the house, to cook
mm,
for us,
mm,
like what am I doing in the kitchen? Is that my work? And you can't blame some people
mm,
depending on family background.
yes.
If as maybe your father that has never entered the kitchen, like there's some
Before.
people that some men will not enter the kitchen for a whole year. It's possible.
Of
I've seen
course, of
people like
course,
that.
of course.
So,
Even when you grew up, right?
mhm,
You already, probably you already have a lot of siblings ahead of you, so
uh-huh,
they are already helping your mother.
yes,
So you didn't know that, okay, your dad, or you didn't know when your dad was helping your mom. So
mm-hmm,
in that sense, you might not have that orientation to help your wife. Yeah.
yes. So you have to know the rules, and also for women too. There's
Mm.
some women that also believe that any money they earn
It's for
is
themselves.
just for themselves. Like it's
Yeah.
the husband that should
Must
take
take
care
care
of the
of
monetary,
everything.
financial aspect of the family. Like
Mm.
all the money that comes to me, my salary, it is just for me to enjoy myself alone. So you
Mm.
have to know the perspective of your spouse about it. Is marriage 50-50? We are still going to talk about that.
Yes,
Maybe probably
another
one
video.
of these days, like okay, if your spouse believe that marriage is 50-50, it has to be divided by two.
Yes,
So you know that that's your spouse
mentality. Yeah.
mentality. So you just have to, all this is not about fight or not, just to know the perspective,
Yes,
the way
perspective,
your spouse
and
is
see how you
reasoning,
guys can work
work
around it.
around it,
Okay, if
compromise and all.
mhm. And then just to add to what she's saying, and one of the reasons why we are bringing this up is that uh, one thing is that your spouse cannot have the same perspective
About
as
a particular
yes
subject.
as you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel like okay this perspective is not too okay or you are not too clear with it, so what you need to do is just probably to get some videos online about marriage. You guys should watch together so that you can be on the same page.
Page,
Not
yes.
that probably okay, there's some not that because of it you will now break up.
Of course.
Do you
I
get me now?
know.
Not not that
Well,
you will
if
now
it's
break up.
something that okay, you can't, both of you are not ready to compromise
Ehen,
about it. We're still going to talk about that at the end of the video. So, but the discussion is not, it's just to be
yes.
aware of what you
Mm-hmm.
are entering into. And like
Yes.
my man has said, things can change, but at
Yes.
least just have idea.
The idea of
Yes.
yes. That was. Let's go into the uh next topic is love and respect. Essentially, we are going to make a video on this. We're
Yeah.
going to make a video
An
on this.
interesting video
Love
on
and respect. What do you know about love and what do you understand about
it.
respect?
Respect.
It's very, very important, right?
Yes.
You know, that's one of the things that the scriptures commanded us. For
Mm,
ladies, you are okay. For men, you are to love
love
your wife, and
for
for
men to
for
respect
women,
your
you have to
husband.
respect your husband. So you need to ask questions. What
Mm-hmm.
do you understand by love?
Love.
What do you understand by respect?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
You
getting me
have to
now?
ask
How can
your
I love
spouse,
you? How can
yes.
I respect you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we are not going to go very deep into
Into
it
that,
right
but
now.
in
But
case, because we don't know if this video, like probably somebody needs it urgently, so but just discuss this. How do you want, how do
yes,
you like for him, for the man now, for the guy, just ask the lady, how do you want me to love you? What do you
yes,
understand by love? Can you like just help them?
yes,
How do you want me to love you? And for the husband, tell, if you do this, I see it as respect, and if you do this, I see it as if you disrespect,
me. Yeah.
disrespect me. So just how do you want to be loved and how do you want to be respected?
Yeah, thank you. So let's go to the next one. The next one is the number of children. So this is also important. Like there are some family that they are about a football team in the
Mm,
family, like 11, 11, 11, and your spouse is also thinking of replicating that. But you came
yes.
from just maybe three
Mm-hmm.
or four. But probably you are just the only child, sef, and you feel like you are okay like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you might have conflict by the time you have your first child, and your husband is coming. Let's get second child, third child, fourth child. You'll be like, you know,
Tó
they.
fẹ́ pa mí ni.
You fẹ́ pa mí ni.
So as my husband has said, like you need to discuss about number of children and all. Another thing I want to add before I forget is that know your husband perspective about mode of child, is it mode of childbearing now? Like CS, V delivery, through the this thing. So some people have the mentality that okay, delivering through V method is that you are delivering like an Hebrew woman. So you have to know your husband perspective about CS, about all the methods, so that you know, see, something happened recently. I know that the news was flying around. A woman died because of this. Like she wasn't able to deliver through V, and the doctor was they were suggesting CS, and the husband was saying in our family we don't give birth via CS.
Hmm.
The husband insisted that no, they should not do CS for the wife. And I think the mother-in-law too said in her family, oh, they don't do that. They don't do that. And the woman eventually lost the child and lost her life because of that.
Hmm.
So you need to discuss about your husband. Like we also discussed about it before we got married. Like, okay, what's your perspective about this thing? And you know, when my husband was having different perspectives, and we thought we read more about it, and you know, the main point is just to save the mother's life and the child life.
Mm.
So, but you have to discuss because some people are keen on it.
Mm.
That no, you can't deliver through say you have to deliver through Hebrew woman. They believe that if you give birth through CS, you are lazy. They be
Mm.
like, no, she's a lazy woman. You have to use your strength to give birth. So you have to know your husband perspective. You also have to
Mm.
know your wife's perspective about it too.
Yes, yes.
So it is important to discuss it, and also type of family planning. You have to discuss it. Yes, you have to discuss it. It's very important. So of course you also have to you can discuss it in marriage too. But there are some things that you need to discuss so that we know
Yes.
next of plan.
Yes, there are sometimes that there might be interruptions,
Yes, yes,
God's interruption.
yes,
We
yes.
heard of a story that they were just giving birth 1, 2, 3,
They
4
just
after
you
marriage,
know
four
they were
years.
planning to wait for marriage. So they
But
were planning to wait after marriage, and before they knew it, child was just coming back to
bam, bam,
back. I
bam,
think that
back to
every
back,
year, pam,
bam,
pam, pam,
bam,
pam. The
for
child was
four
just for
years.
4 years. Like there was no space. And at the end of the fourth year now, is it fourth or fifth year,
Yes,
the lady's period
just
ceased,
ceased,
and that was all.
and that was all.
Lobato.
So assuming there was no children in the first 4 years, that was how they could it could have been God's intervention.
Yeah, this one
Yeah,
also God's intervention.
yeah.
Also God's
So
intervention.
it's very important that also as you are discussing this, uh, you need to be flexible.
Yeah, so
You need to be
like
flexible.
sorry, we are talking about types of family planning now. You know, some what's it called some women they believe that it is the man that should lock up, while some men will believe that it is the woman
Mm.
that should lock up. So you have to just you may not know the method that you will use. Do you understand? But just to know, and some people also does not believe in family planning.
Mm.
They don't believe in family planning, that
Mm.
it is not scriptural.
Yes.
So you have to know your husband perspective. Are we doing it or we are not doing it?
Mm.
What's your perception
Mm.
about child spacing? Some
Mm.
people will be that the way tó bá ṣe wá ni, like anyhow it comes,
Mm.
let them come.
Mm.
Do you understand? So you just have to know their stand on it. And also
Spacing.
this, yes, child spacing, of course, if it's 1 year, if it's 2 years, if it's 10 years, if it's 3 years,
You will know.
you will know. You may not like just have things might change, like you said,
Yes,
but
yes.
just know, like, okay, for instance, if your husband believes that as you are dropping one,
You should be carrying
you should be
another
carrying another one.
one.
Yeah. And you be like believe like, okay, let us do this three. And your husband is saying no, let us do this thing. So you have to discuss about it. Just
Yes,
about discussing
yes.
about it, so that in marriage is not cause clash. Like, no, I want it
Mm.
now. I want it now.
All right, so we have come to the end of today's video. I hope
Yes.
and we hope that you really enjoyed the video and you are able to pick one or two things that you guys can discuss.
So the series still continues, so please don't miss any of the episode now.
Yes,
Any
any
of
of
the
the series.
series, so they
Yeah,
are very interesting. And also, please, even if you don't need it,
you
if you
can
are
share.
married,
Yes,
you
yes.
can share it with what's it called? You can share it with people that you know that they are in courtship,
Mm,
people that you know that they need it. So
mm.
kindly help us to share. Kindly
Uh,
help someone. Hey
yes.
Joe, don't forget to also subscribe, like,
Mm.
and share. Yes, don't forget. Very important. People that they are watching and they not subscribe and watching you in 3D. Yes, God knows the number of your house. God knows the number of your house.
All
So
right,
don't
like this
forget.
video, like, share,
Yes,
share, share,
yes,
share, share.
yes.
All right, till we see in our next video. Keep
Sarin.
sign.
Bye.
Bye bye.